All right, guys, this is lesson 7.2. This is part 3. And the first two videos, maybe you're thinking, wow, this isn't bad at all, this ambiguous case of law signs. And this third part is the part that's going to be bad, that's going to be kind of tricky. And it's starting out, it looks no trickier, but as we go through this problem, you'll realize it was quite a bit trickier. So we start out, we notice here they gave us angle C, they gave us side C, they gave us side A. So to start off, we're going to find angle A. So to do that, let's put the angles on top. So I'm going to go the sine of 48.2 over side C, 697, equals the sine of angle A over 890. We've done this enough times, we know we're going to cross multiply, we're going to divide. And so the sine of A is going to be 890 times the sine of 48.2. And we'll divide that by 697. And I know once I get this value on the right side, I'll take the sine inverse to figure out what my angle is. Okay, let's pull up our calculator. We're going to need a calculator to do this. Let me scoot this over if I can. There we go, so we can see what's going on. Try that one more time. We'll make sure our mode is in degrees, which it is. Quit out of here. And let's do this. We got 890. We got the sine, 48.2. Then we'll divide this by 697. And I get 0.9518. How do I get angle A? I'll take the sine inverse of that. So we'll go sine inverse of that answer. Close my parenthesis. And there we go. We get 72.2 degrees. Does not seem bad at all. So angle A equals 72.2 degrees. But we had already mentioned in the previous video, when you're doing a sine inverse, how do you know if your angle is in the first quadrant or the second quadrant? So there's another possibility here. And in the second quadrant, I'd go 180 minus my reference angle. So I'll go 180 minus 72.2 minus 72.2. And I get this 107.8. So there's two possibilities. And in the second video we mentioned, you desperately try to criticize or get rid of one of these two possibilities because who wants to do two problems? So let's try to criticize. And the criticism that always works is look at the big side, the big angle, small side, small angle. It'll always work that way. So we notice here side C is a smaller side compared to side A. So angle C has to be a smaller angle. Angle C is 48. So angle A has to be something bigger than 48. And if you look at that, 72 would work or 107.8 would work. There's two possibilities. And we literally have to do two separate problems. So one was 72.2 and the other was 107.8. So it involves doing this problem twice. So let's do problem 1. And here we're going to assume angle A is 72.2 degrees. All right, let's get angle B. No big deal. Angle B would be 180. Minus angle C, and angle C is non-negotiable. It is 48.2. They gave us that, so we can't say, is it something else? No, they told us it was 48.2. Now we'll take off angle A, 72.2, and let's see what we get out of there. Come back, calculator. Scoot it back over the other way now. Come on. And so I've got, yeah, let's clear that out. So we got a clean screen. 180. We'll take off the 48.2. And we'll take off the 72.2. Oops, that doesn't look quite right, does it? Let's try that again. 180. We will take off the 48.2. And we'll take off this. Let's take off 72.2. That looks a little bit better, hopefully. Looks good. Hit enter. And angle B is 59.6. All right, angle B is 59.6 degrees. Got it. We already had angle A. We still need one more thing, which is side B. So we need sides. So let's put the side on top. B over the sine of 59.6. And since in the initial problem they gave us the C's, let's use that. 697 over the sine of 48.2. And again, we've done this enough. Hopefully this is fairly routine. What will B equal? Well, I'm going to cross multiply. So I'm going to get 697 times the sine of 59.6 divided by the sine of 48.2. And let's see what B equals. 697 sine 59.6 divided by sine 48.2. And so B equals 686. Nice. All right, that's it. We're done. No, we are not done. That was just our first case when A was 72.2. So that was problem 1. It turns out we need to extend the page here, and we need to do a problem 2. And problem 2 is, what if C was 107.8? If we have a problem 2 we have to do. And so problem 2, what if angle C was the 107.8? Well, our method is the same. Let's get angle B. Angle B is 180. I'll take off angle C, and again, angle C is non-negotiable. Angle C is at 48.2. And now angle C, though, is 107.8, because that was the one we used with the sine inverse. Let's do the subtraction. Move the calculator back, or keep shuffling this calculator around. Come on. There we go. So let's get this, clean the slate again here. So we'll go 180 minus the 48.2. And now we'll minus the 107.8. And now in this case, I'm having a hard time with the calculator buttons today, aren't I? So 180 minus 48.2 minus 107.8. Holy cow, I'm going to get this eventually. 107.8, take that one out of there. All right, that looks pretty good. Subtract those. Look at that, angle B is tiny. Angle B is 24 degrees. And now with a different angle B, side B will be different. So we're going to go B over the sine of 24. As long as we use our C, that didn't change. That was given. Side C was 697. Angle C was 48.2. We will cross multiply. We will divide. So I'm going to get 697. I'll get the sine of 24 over the sine of 48.2. So let's do that last part on our calculator. And this time we really will be done. So 697, see if I can get it right in the calculator. 697, we've got a sine of 24. Close my parenthesis. How am I doing? So far, so good. Divided by the sine of 48.2. 0.2. All right, let's check that out. Looks good. And now B was a little angle, so I'm expecting it won't be quite as big as it was the first time. And let's see what we get here. A 380. This time a 380.3 is side B. So B equals 380.3. And so we end up with two solutions because we did the sine inverse. The sine inverse gave us two different angles. We tried to criticize it. We couldn't. Both angles were valid. Both angles were valid. And so we end up with two separate distinct answers. Look, we've got this answer right here. And if we scroll up, we had this answer right here. So there's certain times when you're doing the law of sines, where you take that sine inverse, you end up with two separate, distinct, correct answers. Why would that happen? Because they gave us two sides and an angle, and side-side angle was never a valid geometric proof for congruence of triangles. So it doesn't pin it down when they give you two sides and an angle. It doesn't pin it down to a single triangle. There are two possible triangles you can draw given this information. We've got to find both answers. So that's as tricky as you can make the law of sines. If this makes sense, nothing will stop you. So as you're doing the law of sines, understand, you might get no answers, you might get one answer, or in this case, you might get two answers. And if this makes sense, you are in a good spot because it gets no trickier than this. That completes the video.